Hello. Last time I showed you how to install and configure Active Directory domain services and our DNS server. Today I'm going to show you how to add a user in Active Directory domain services. So we click on Start on Administrative Tools. We go to Active Directory Users and Computers. Now here we would see the name of our domain that we created in our previous tutorial. Mine was created as OS Platforms, which is the name of my class, which is why I'm using this for this particular tutorial, but like I said previously, you can name it whatever you want. So I would click on my domain name, and I would go down to users, and in this box I can right click. Actually, before I do that, let me give you a little summary on what you can find inside of here. This is where we would find all our domain controllers. We would find our administrators. Here is where we can create users and set them to whatever roles we would like them to be, such as they can be a guest, they can be an administrator, they can sign in as a domain controller. There are different options, but for now we are just going to create a user. So we can right click, go to new, and we see here that there are many options that we can create. We can create a group, we can create a computer name, but for now we are going to create a user. And this is the icon box that would come up for us to enter the user information. So for this tutorial I'm going to create a user, Orlando Bloom, and we have to create a logon name for the user, and this name is what he's going to use every time he logs on to your domain. So his logon name would now be Orlando Bloom at osplatforms.com. We can click next. We must create a password for the user. We can set the password so that it never expires. We can set it so that the user can never change their password, and we can also set it so that the user can change the password to whatever they want when they first log in onto our domain. So for now I'm going to leave it as user cannot change password. We click next. One thing though, when setting the password, make sure it meets the complexity requirements. Otherwise the server or the domain will not accept any password. It must have a capital letter, common letter, a numeric character, a numeric number, as well as a character in the password. Let's remember that next time. And that's about it. We click finish, and here we would see our user Orlando Bloom added to our domain, OS Platforms. So when we double click on him, we would have some more options as to how to edit our user. We have general information, we can put in his address information. Under account we will see his logon information, Orlando Bloom at osplatforms.com. We can set limits as to how long he can log on. and where he can log on to. He can either log on to all computers which are connected to our domain, or we can set it so that he can connect to one particular computer, and we would enter the computer name here. So there's a lot of administrative controls that can be accessed here, but for now we'll leave it at that. So Orlando, let me show you how this usually works. Once you enter add a user in your domain, OS platforms, any computer that is added to that domain once a computer is added to that domain, any user who has a domain log on name can log on to that or any computer once the computer is added to your domain. And now I'm going to show you how to add a computer to a domain. Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to add a computer to a domain that we have created in our previous tutorial. Now here we have our server, and we previously created a user in our domain, which is my domain for this tutorial is osplatforms.com, and we created our user Orlando Bloom. Now I'm going to add a computer, which is a Windows 7 computer, to my domain so that Orlando Bloom can log on. So to begin, we click Start, right click on my computer and go to Properties. Here we would have the basic information about our computer: how many RAM we're running, or what bit operating system we are running, what type of OS we are running, our computer name, and whether or not our computer is part of a work group, or whether or not it's added to a domain or not. So here we can see that our computer isn't added to a domain, so we click Change Settings in order to do this. It says to rename this computer or change its domain or work group, click Change. So we click Change, and we will keep the computer name as Windows 7, but under Member Of, so we select the domain box and we enter the name of our domain, osplatforms.com. Yours would be whatever it is you created it to be. If you click OK, it would prompt you for administrative rights. Okay. Now when it has been added to the domain, it would prompt you to restart your computer. So here it says welcome to the osplatforms.com domain. We click OK, and here it's prompting you to restart the computer in order for the changes to apply. So we click OK, click Close, and restart now. And now our PC has restarted, so let's see whether our Windows 7 PC has been added to our OS Platforms domain. So click on Start, right click on my computer, Properties, and here we would see that the computer name Windows 7 the full computer name has changed. Before it was just Windows 7, but now it has been added to a domain, which is windows7.osplatforms.com, and we will see on the domain we have osplatforms.com. Our domain name has been added to our computer.